tuned in to the Making a Change Group's Community Report every Thursday at 10 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and CMPRadio.net's platform. Making a Change Group is dedicated to empowering youth, strengthening families, and serving as a community connector for the city of Chester and Delaware County. Thank you for tuning in.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Making a Change Group, and we are excited to be here with you this morning. We've got some amazing events that are happening that we want to make sure we get out to you. We also want to just give some opinions on things that we see happening in the community and things that folks are bringing to us that they want us to address, and we've got opinions about. So I'm Michelle Jackson. I'm program director with Making a Change Group here at the Chester, the administrative offices in Chester. And I'm going to go through a list of events that are going on in the community with other organizations and the ones that are happening with us, so that anyone that's interested can get involved. You can reach out to us here at Making a Change Group. You're going to see the website and phone number posted several times throughout the show today. But definitely reach out to us. Let us know what's going on. Let us know what you have going on in your community, in your neighborhood, in organizations that you're a part of that we may not be aware of. And then also get connected to our programs and the things that we've got going on here. So there are things happening every single day this weekend, all the way through to the beginning of next week. Today is going to be a free business seminar and networking event. That's going to be happening at the Dream Event Space. That's over town on the Avenue of the States. That's 517 Avenue of the States here in Chester, PA. There's going to be discussions, insights. And it's a networking event for current and aspiring business owners. So if you already got your gig up and running, definitely get there so you can meet some new people. If you're interested in getting a business started and you want to, hit the ground running, make sure you get there today. Saturday, the 30th of April, there's a health fair. It's going to be held at the Cat Center down on 4th Street with Tara Jones and other special guests. So the TF Consultant presents the health fair down at the Cat Center. So it's free admission. It's going to be between 1 and 4 p.m. on this Saturday. That's 2300 West 4th Street, Chester, PA. And there's going to be some amazing speakers there on Saturday, the 30th. This Sunday, the 1st of May, there's going to be a paint party at Sun Village organized by Brian Warren and other volunteers. It's going to be held at the Sun Village basketball court. It's going to be a paint party. That's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you want to go out and join the Department of Public Property and Rec with several volunteers to restripe the Sun Village basketball courts. That's going to be getting ready for summer. So all the kids, all of us be able to hang out on the courts and just get it all freshened up. So we're going to be there between on Sunday morning on May 1st between 10 and 2 p.m. So definitely make sure you come out. On May 5th is going to be our second session for G's Mentoring G's. Remember, G stands for gentlemen. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that during the show today. But that second session is going to be happening on next Thursday, May 5th at Toby Farms Middle School. That's at 201 Bridgewater Road in Brookhaven. Come out. Bring your sons, your nephews, your little cousins, your homies, anybody that you're mentoring, anybody that you just want to pull into the fold. And when you get there, be prepared, adult men, to also be a part of that conversation. We are not just talking to the young guys, we're talking to the big guys too. So, and this is an all male-led event. So it's a safe space. Get in there, start talking, and then learn about the other sessions that are going to be coming up and some other activities that are going to be happening with the G's. This is a Gvon sponsored event or hosted event sponsored by Making a Change Group. So definitely make sure you come out and do that. On Saturday, May 7th, there is a tennis clinic that's going to be held on May 7th down at Session number 1 is going to be from 9 to 12:30. Lunch will be provided. This is for 3rd to 6th graders. And that's going to be, again, on May 7th. The second session is from 11:30 to 2:30 p.m. So make sure you get out and be a part of that. And you can get more information at Amachi Chester for that. On next Thursday, on the 12th of May, will be our second session for our Queens Mentoring Queens. Now, our first session was amazing. We had a wonderful panel of women who came out and talked to our young ladies and to our young queens and our big queens about conflict resolution and how we can communicate better, as we grow and as we're doing our thing out here in these streets. So we're going to be able to learn more about our speakers and their story. And that's going to be happening on Thursday, May 12th from 5:30 to 7:30. That also happens at Toby Farms Middle School. And that's 201 Bridgewater Road, Brookhaven, PA. These sessions are for young women that are 8 years of age and up. So bring your daughter, bring your niece, bring your little mom, bring your granddaughter. And so we want to see moms, aunties, grandmothers, godmothers. We want to see mentors. We want to see teachers who have young ladies in their classrooms that they just want to be able to connect with other positive women. Same thing with G's. We want dads, we want uncles, we want grandfathers, we want godfathers, we want teachers, we want mentors, we want case managers. We want everybody to just bring our young people so we can get this together, get ourselves together and just learn how to talk and communicate better in our relationships. Also, I want to just have you guys keep your ear, save the date. We have a Chester Upland School District music celebration that's coming up. And that's going to be Thursday, May 24th. That's at 6 p.m. It's going to be at Chester High School, right there at 232 West 9th Street. We're going to have groups from all of the schools in the district. All of their music performances by different groups and choirs and bands are be coming together. So tickets are available through each school's individual building, so through their principal. So make sure you reach out to your any of the school's principals or their secretaries at the front desk to get more information about getting tickets for that. And then Delaware County and Chester and Delaware County are also both hosting huge community-wide Juneteenth events. So keep your ears open for that. So for the upcoming event with Delaware County, they are holding their celebration at Rose Tree Park on June 19th. They are looking for young people to contribute artwork to their competition, and the submissions are going to be accepted through the end of this week. It says on the flyer that's posted on our screen that it's open to the 25th, but they are keeping it open until the end of the week, and it can be digital artwork. You just have to create it and make a copy of it and send it on over so it can be considered in the competition to be the logo for this year's Juneteenth event. That is a great opportunity for any of our artists to get their work out there. So definitely make sure you visit our website so you can have that information. So those are the events that we have right now. We will be posting these and having links to those on our website, makingachangegroup.org. We're also going to be putting, every Thursday we'll have a list of events, things that we know about, things that we're participating in, so you can know what we know. I am now going to reach out I'm going to ask our team members to get on board because I want to start hearing about what happened at that G's Mentoring G's event. Last week when we were here, we had just hosted our first Queens Mentoring Queens session, and we talked about that in length. We got the guys' feedback on that. Amazing event. We're looking forward to May 12th, but we were hosting our first G's Mentoring G's that night, last Thursday when we talked. So I've got Josh Shockley and I've got Gio on, and I've got Richard on to get they're all from our Gvon and our TMAC programs here at Making a Change Group. And I want to hear what they had to say about and get their feedback on how that session went. That was an all male led event. So I was only there to sign people in and make sure people got food on the way out. So I'm only hearing bits and pieces. So I'm super excited to hear what this conversation is and what you guys felt like we achieved at that session last Thursday and what work we need to do coming up on May 5th. Hey, Gio. You muted, yo.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
How is everybody today? My name Geo Stockman, as everybody know. I'm street interventionist for the Gvon program, also the president and security bag, SDB Enterprises. Speaking towards the Gvon meeting that we had, the G's mentoring G's meeting, I feel like it was successful in the fact that we had a number of men there. We had a number of children, teenagers, and they engaged. They had questions. They really had concerns and whatnot that they wanted to get through. That they needed a male perspective, a positive male perspective that they didn't have, and it was good that we did that. So we seen that in doing that, giving the youngins a outlet to open up, giving them a safe space to open up. I'm thinking that's critical. I'm thinking moving forward, when we go to the next one, we're going to have more people there, and just the start of it, how we did it there, I think we on the right street. I think we on the right path with it.
Most definitely. Gio, good morning, brother.
Brother, how you?
Man, you're looking fly as usual.
Hey, man, I try sometimes.
Hey, it's Thursday. That's what we do. But it was definitely a super dope event. Right off the bat, man, I just want to talk about our very first question, because it's important that we understand that this is the stuff that's on our young kids' mind. All the questions, and we asked for the hard questions, and we got some. And our very first question out the bat was, it was a young man. Well, one of the young men asked the question, what do I say on the next conversation that I had with my brother who's calling home from prison? First question out the door. And it took us some time because, at first you're like, whoa. But it's amazing just to see that that's what's on our mind. Like, this is the things that they're thinking about. And to have that perspective from that young mind to say, wow, he's not just going to school and worrying about school. He's not just worried about his homies. He's not just worried about mom or dad. One of his things that's nagging him or that's bothering him is, what do I say on this conversation with my brother that's calling home from prison? What does that look like? And, some of the one of the answers that I gave was, speak motivation to him. Let him know everything that you're doing. Let him know about the G's mentoring G's. Let him know about Team Mac and Making a Change group and what you're doing in school. And just giving him motivation and letting his brother know that, I love you. This is a no judgment zone, but let's get better.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things I really admired, and I just want to start off by saying, like, the G's mentoring G's, it's really, really important to know that this is a safe zone. This is a safe zone, non-judgmental. And once we established that, we were able to have these really deep conversations and have people join in. One of the questions I wind up getting was, how do I ask for help in my reading class? And that was really, really important because this young person understood the importance of the educational process. And it was saying, hey, how do I ask for help? And that's really difficult even for grown men. And we had that conversation. The more we had these conversations, I think all the men in this room kind of reflected on themselves from, how do I talk to my brother who is in prison? I mean, I was that young man. He took me back in time. But the most powerful one, I think I would just like to say is I believe he was 8 or 10 years old, correct?
10.
He was 10 years old. This young man said, I would like to share my experience. That was really powerful. And I knew that was an opportunity we had to take. This young man came up front and joined the panel. And when I tell you, he shared his personal experience with us, I think all of us men in that room felt what that young man was what he felt at that time. He also took us back.
It's because it was so pure.
It was so pure, so powerful, and also a good opportunity for others to see the strength in this young man, not just young ones, but also adults who were there. And I would have to applaud all the adults who were there because they gave that young man a hug, and that meant something to him. And I believe that young man, for one part, he was. I remember, brother, you were calling him a king. You know,
yeah,
what I mean?
It was so crazy. He spoke so articulately and so raw and so pure. Like I felt like he was there for us. That's why I had to like, come on, you got set up on this panel, and it's just a testament that one, no matter how old we get, we can always learn, and we're constantly in that realm of we're learning from them and they're learning from us, and bridging that gap of communication between our kings. It's imperative. It's paramount that we continue to have these conversations. Quick question for y'all: What were some of the things that we didn't get a chance to talk about that, you know, looking back now and gearing up for our next one, that we want to be bigger? And big ups to the men who watched this show last Thursday and showed up to G's Mentoring G's. That was so dope. Thank y'all for coming out, because after all the after school kids that got on the bus, you know, they left, we continued the conversation and actually got deeper because now we had the older kids and the men. So that's why I said, you know, it's important. Men, please come out. Even if you don't have a nephew, a son, a brother, or cousin, come out because it's for you. But what are some of the things that, you know, gearing up now for our next G's Mentoring G's that y'all might want to see?
Oh, well, you know, our next one is definitely on self-care. But wow, you know what? I think having a voice is so important. So I think somewhere where we can do something with a young man and say, hey, listen, you have a voice. And oddly enough, in Toby Farms, in the lunchroom, there is a picture in the back. Somebody drew it, says you have a voice. So important. But so they can strengthen that voice, you know, and articulate their feelings and their needs. I know as a young man, I base all mine off emotion. So, you know, that no one wants to hear me hear a young, upset man, even though it's validated, you know. But, you know, that's something I would like to strengthen, rather, that I look forward to, you know.
Me, I don't really have like a particular area that I'm looking for them to get into. It's just the point of having the space to get into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know for me growing up, like I never had nobody to go to. You know what I'm saying? So like I had to learn everything on the fly. I didn't have nobody. So that's the importance of coming out and getting involved with this. We got to look back and think back to our youth, man, and how we made the turns that we made and when we made them. So when we can look back on our life and understand where we was at, that better give us understanding of these kids and where they at. So we understand what we needed and what we lack. So I understand what I lack growing up. I lack positive male role models. I lack people that I could turn to when I had stuff on my mind that I really didn't understand, that I just had to fight through. I didn't have nobody to go to. So that's what I'm trying to be. And that's what I want the brothers to come out and be. Just come out and be that for them. Know what I'm saying? Be that experience. You pretty much lived everything they living. So it's the importance is just coming out and being there to hear what they got to say, hear what their concerns is. I mean, we got the answers. I promise you we do, because pretty much all of us live through everything they living through right now.
Absolutely. I know for me, definitely one of the things that, you know, on this platform, as well as our G's Mentoring G's, that been on my mind and my heart, and I just spoke to a bunch of our older kids at the Boys and Girls Club yesterday about this, was not falling for that setup on social media. One of the examples that I gave them was, man, you go on Facebook, you cuss somebody out, you talk dirty, they're going to put you in Facebook jail. But here it is, they have young men advertised in prison on social media. They got young men in jail dancing around like this is cool and this the place to be. And I said, this is not by coincidence. Right. Like we cannot fall. It's like, you know, now you see clearly what they're doing. You see clearly how this is affecting you. If I can't get on there and be real, but you could advertise prison, the very place that we trying to prevent our babies from going to, is something wild about that. So that's definitely one of the things I want to raise awareness. How do we be safe? How do we protect our children on social media? What are some of the boundaries that we could set up? What are some tips that we could give them, or just prepare them to let them know that, 99% of that friend list won't call you if anything happens. They're not going to be there in the trenches with you. They're not going to be there to protect you when somebody doing online bullying and talking about you, and really letting our young kings know, don't let social media change your perspective or what you know a king to be.
Yeah, so I got a question for y'all. I wasn't allowed to get in there, but I saw a lot of guys from the community, and I hear y'all saying we want more, we definitely do. What kind of feedback do our older guys have? Not our kids, and remember, for our audience, when we're talking about kids, we're talking about, we call them babies and kids, and our young men, we talking about young men from 8 years old to 24 years old. They may not appreciate us calling them babies and things like that, but we're saying it from places of love. Like, we know y'all are men, but to us, you just in our heart like that. But we have 40, 50-year-old men in the room. What can we do, or what kind of feedback did you get from them, or even with their feedback, with how they felt these sessions went? Because what we're asking to our audience is that more people come out. We want to fill we don't want to just fill a classroom. We want to fill the auditorium. We want to fill that whatever space Toby Farm gives us, we want to fill that. So what kind of feedback are y'all hearing from the men that had an opportunity to sit in with you guys on Thursday?
I think one of the things I'm hearing is we want more of this. We felt as they want to experience more of this. I think if I can give just a tad bit more feedback on reinforcement to that, is consistency. If we're there as men to guide these young men, we can't just do it and say we feel good today and that's it. This is an ongoing process, right? Gvon is very, very important to this community, and the people who are part of it are very, very important, but also the ones we bring in, those who want to come in and see what we're doing and be part of it. It's consistent, because once after school is done, we want to put those people who are able to speak and guide the young ones out in where they come from, and those young ones to emulate that and spread that to the other young men and women. That's my thing, will be consistency. The city really needs to consistently be on the same page. It's going to be trials and tribulations, but we can't do this one day and say, I feel good about this and that's it, my job is done. This job is never done. But I think the more we allow the young ones to speak, the more we brought them in, they felt safe, the more they had to say, and to the point where they were part of the panel. So I think that's what I would say, the consistency there, for us to allow us to do these things.
One of the things that stood out for me, especially with our older kings there, was at the end, the hugs that they were genuinely giving out, that conversation, like, yo, bro, like, this was amazing. We were happy to be there, because a lot of them they were standing there and, they were listening to the questions and listening to the answers themselves. And you could tell that it was therapeutic for them as well. And one of the real awesome things was, even after leaving there, running into Coach Perry out on the street and running into some of the older men that was there, and still getting that same hug that we got when we made that connection at G's Mentoring G's. It was that connection that now we know each other. Now when we see each other out on the street, King, and I see you with your son, or I see you with your nephew, we are part of that community now. We know each other. We can love on each other. We can edify each other. We can build each other up. For me, that was one of the dopest parts for me, to meet those men that I might not have spoke to normally outside of that setting. Now we're seeing each other in the supermarkets, right in our community. And it's like, yo, that's Mr. Josh. And that's Coach Perry. How you doing? And just giving that same hug and showing that community love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like for me and for most of the guys I talk to after, like most of us, we are like the kids in the respect that we don't have enough like-minded men to engage with, like they don't have enough kids that's on the positive vibe to engage with or space in which to engage them. So most of the men that was there was grateful to be able to sit down with other like-minded men and have intelligent dialogue. You know what I'm saying? Like it's few and far between when you have that out here. Normally you moving around and you just doing nothing and talking about whatever. But in that space you have 10, 20 men that's building and talking about positive enforcement and re-engagement with the community and how we can get things back together. So we don't normally have those type of discussions with that many men present. So
Yeah.
so the men that was there was appreciative of that from what I heard.
Yeah.
If I could just finalize, just add one other element to this, our youth so much that they use their phone or on this virtual space, and this virtual space can be dangerous, has a lot of false information on this. This was an authentic space with real men who had real life situations. The energy there, even if you were a young man who didn't know how to put into words what you felt, the energy there was so real. And for them to see what an authentic man looks like, that's so close to them that they go through the same issues and problems or have been through the same thing and get feedback right there on the spot is so vital. It was so vital. And even there was one young man who did not speak. He was a younger one, but you could see the wheels turning. And little by little, you could see that he probably wanted to say something so bad, but he got to see all these. And listen, there was some serious guys in there. If you weren't from there, you've been there like, wow. But they got to see both strengths. They got to see the physical appearance and strength, but also that heart, that love. And they also got to see, because listen, it was super energized. I had a tear in my eye towards the end. So I know some of us did too, but they got to see that's what a man looks like right there. And that's why it's so important, because that's real. We have a live space. We need to utilize the space. We need to make it grow more. We want to hear more questions, have more voices. We want to feel that. And at the end, it was definitely a growing experience. I left looking at all the men on the panel in a different light. I even went home and hugged my kids and talked to my wife a little bit longer. It made me think, it made me feel, and it made me want to continue this work in and outside of my job space. I want to make this, I want to live it not only at work, but continuously live it outside. It was a great feeling. Great feeling.
Just piggybacking off that emotional content, like you said, the younger kids able to see the older kings there cry and actually show that emotion and say, wow, this is okay here too. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to feel that. It's okay to understand, that all of us are going through something. That was really nice for them to see that and close that emotional gap. Because coming up is, oh, what you crying for? You gotta be hard. But to see men hear something that emotionally affect them and openly being able to shed those tears, that was really dope.
Like the importance, for me, the real importance of this event, more not necessarily the information that we give, but we do give information. But the most important thing for me is that in something like this, we're giving the youngins a positive image of what a man is to look at and to aspire to. And not only are we supposed to do it there, we start there and we start in there and we bring it to the community. We need our boys out here to see what real men look like. We need our boys to see how real men conduct themselves, how they operate business, how they dress, how they talk, how they engage with each other, how they think through problems. Like this, these are the images that we need to project more to the boys as opposed to the images they receiving. That's why this is so important. That's why it's so important that brothers that got their life on the ball, brothers that's out here and y'all winning, y'all doing what y'all doing. We need y'all to come out and let these boys see y'all. Let them see that Yeah, it's men out here that's winning. It's men out here that's living productive lives. They need to see that, and they need to see it every day. They need to see it in their face every day. They bombarded with images around them of what a man is, but they all bad images. It's upon us as the men out here, the men of this community, their fathers, their uncles, their cousins, their big homies, their OGs. It's incumbent upon us to go out and let them know what a man is. They have a false image of what a man is. I know that because when I was young, I had a false image of what a man is because no positive man taught me. So it's incumbent upon us to go back and show them and tell them. You can show them by action better than you can tell them. You can tell them till you blue in the face. But if they see you out here running around, they see you out here in the mix, they see you out here doing your thing, what you saying to them don't matter. They have to see you walking, what you talking. They have to see you conducting yourself as you asking them to conduct themselves. And that's what's important about this. The brothers is coming out and letting the youngest know, man, we here for y'all. We want to see y'all succeed. We want to see y'all be great. And we're gonna help y'all.
Absolutely. And I kind of just wanted to add a final piece to that is when a young one comes to these events and an elder, there's folders that are provided with information regarding Gvon, Team Mac, and other things. Use that to connect with us because it's so vital that we continue outreach, right? For young ones, if you're scared to, if it doesn't look cool for you to raise your hand, but like I want to know more, you can use your phone. There's a code on it. You can take a picture of it and go right on, put your name and number, and we can contact you. But it's so important. So the information is provided there at the table so that you can be part of or get in contact with someone from Gvon or from Making a Change Group. We have resources, there's more things like this that are out there. And that's really important to put that out into the community. There's something out there. There's something that we're going to be doing. It's going to be fun, exciting, life-changing. But there's tons of things we got in motion right now. And we would love more people to be part of this. Please help us spread this word. Please help us spread this this type of culture that we're trying to really spread out and readjust. That the world is, internet's kind of taken, like I blame internet for a lot of stuff, but it kind of give us a lot of false information, almost like the Matrix of what life really is. And it isn't, this was real. And I think I would love to see more of this and hopefully grow on a larger scale. So be part of us, definitely so vital.
So just like last week, it was really dope to see people watch the show and come in and say, yo, I just seen y'all this morning and I had to be here. So please, Kings, if y'all out there, you listening, you're going to watch later on, please make this event bigger. It's for us. Let's make this event bigger. Like Gio said, it's important that our young Kings see that, it's men out here going to work every day, surviving, taking care of their family, they're thriving, owning businesses, owning properties, having things that they're doing that's positive, that don't include selling drugs, carrying a gun, making, I'm going to jail, that's dope. No, being dope is getting up every morning knowing I don't have to watch over my back. Knowing that I get to go home to my family, knowing that I don't have to worry about no police. I ain't got to worry about nobody telling on me. I don't got to worry about, being comfortable with me because I'm comfortable with me. And, showing them young Kings, man, that like Gio said, man, that was so raw, Gio, man. You always drop jewels on me because I still think about programming. Every time I see you, that's the first thing that pops in my head. But that's also what's important about these meetings. Being able to see these men in our community, because it might be a young man seeing you and saying, yo, let me tighten up. Damn, all right. Yeah, that's I was meant to see Gio today because it reminded me, yo, let me check my programming. Oh, yo, there go Mr. Jock. Yo, let me tighten up. Let me get it together because Mr. Josh reminded us before, don't fall for this. Yo, there go Rich right there. Yo, it's really, really important that they get to see that.
It's like I know for me, back when I was young, right? We didn't have a lot of positive men around, but we had a lot of positive women, positive sisters. You know what I mean? On my project. shout out to all of them, Miss Johnny May and Miss Rose and
Absolutely.
Miss Shirley and Miss Ella. All y'all, man, all y'all sisters, they was the hood moms. Now I'm saying now, when we seen them, we got right. We tightened up. You see what I'm saying? Even though we was out here doing whatever we was doing, whenever we seen these women, shout out again to them women, man. They gave me a lot of
Big
guidance.
shout out. Big shout out.
We tightened up because of that respect factor, because we knew them looking at us, how they felt about what we was doing. That's the thing. We got to let these boys know how we feel about what they doing. We can't just be like, it's cool. It's not cool. Like, not justifying what's going on. Oh, I understand why you. No, it's not cool. Like, what you doing ain't cool, bro. What you doing
and giving them that raw.
Yeah,
giving them that raw. One of the things
successful.
Yeah, one of the things that I explain to them, and I tell them all the time, and all of you guys know, man, I give myself freely all the time. And a part of the reason why I do that is because I want them to see the work too. Because sometimes, man, they see us, they see us out here, the clothes and drive. Oh, well, they good. No, man, catch the work, because I wasn't always good. I wasn't always driving. I wasn't always living in a home. I wasn't always dressing like this. I didn't always have money to pay bills. I wasn't always being the best man I could be. I wasn't always being the best father I could be. I wasn't always being the best community role model I could be. I had to put work in. So don't just look at the tie today and the shirt today and say, oh, all right, well, you good now. No, catch this work, because they take work. You got to put work in. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and be like, all right, I heard what Gio said. I'm good. I'm solid. I changed. My program is good. No, you got to put that work in. It's a constant thing. So like you said, Gio, we got to lead by example so we could constantly be that reminder. Because it's not going to take one G's mentoring G's. It's not going to take two. It's not going to take three. Right. This is going to be a lifelong community event that we're starting that we need to constantly have. Absolutely. And not all events are going to be, like this, where we're asking questions. Some events we're going to get together as men. We're going to have game night. We're going to have a time where we could just vibe, kick it, listen to some music, but have that safe space where we not in there judging nobody. We're not here to talk about nobody. We're not here to downplay nobody. It's genuine brothers getting together to have fun and uplifting each other and seeing more like-minded men.
Absolutely. I think another important thing is to realize every man is a teacher. Sometimes you feel like you might not be able to be that teacher, but you've had those experiences where you have sense of empathy. You do have trauma informed. You might not realize it. And a young man needs to hear that now. Don't wait too late. I had a brother who did that. He talked a little too late, and I wish I would have heard his words earlier. It made sense when he talked to me, and he told me why. But every man is capable of being a teacher, being that elder, and it's time for us to reclaim that position.
I wanted to point this out. You guys are on a roll, but I want to point out, Gio mentioned that, we've gotten away from the accountability piece, even to not just with each other. When we think about women on women or guys on guys, that's what y'all talking about. How, back in the day, the female in your family could give you a look and you strike, you tighten up. But now that's not happening. But the message I think is so important is that I think that the responsibility of the family, we aren't necessarily putting it on our guys anymore. It could be because, society just thinks that women can handle it all. We've been handling it all and we don't need men and all that other stuff. And that is not the case. Like, one of the messages I would love for our men to hear is how important they are to the family. I feel like the reason why women should be supportive of G's mentoring G's is because when our men are stronger, everybody's stronger. The men are going to hold up a family just as much, if not more, than a woman. If you have a woman you may have never heard it, but women say a woman with a good man is a woman and a half. Like, y'all build women up to be better. You know, I think we forget that correlation, that a strong man is a strong family. Like that is it. So what making a change, when we're talking to our young men and women and we're saying, you know, talk to us, call us, let us know, it's because Making a Change Group has a program for men. We doing G's mentoring G's, and yeah, we're doing Queens mentoring Queens, so we can have these conversations. But what happens after? One, you able to, I heard you say, Josh, you're able to identify strong, positive men in the community. So yeah, that's good. But then some of the tools that we need to give our young men, is if you're in your family and you need to support your family, you need help with that, then that's where we can help. We have a program called Connected Visions that supports families, not just single women and their kids. We support whole families. You know, again, no shade, no judgment, none of that. If you're a man and you're in one of these meetings and, you know, you're a young man and you have a child and you have a mother that you're trying to work it out with, or not, or if it's just you trying to work out a relationship with your child and trying to support your child, that's what we're here for. Connected Vision supports whole families. I don't want anybody to ever think when you come to Making a Change Group or you reach out to us that we're only going to help you if you're a woman, or you're a woman with a kid, or a woman with children, or a grandmother, or anything like that. No, we have men that work within our organization to support other men. So it's not just on Thursdays at Toby, we talking the talk. We have systems in place to help support you get back in school, finish school. Not even you may not need to go to school. Do you want to start a business? You want to be like a Geo? How do you do that? Yes, you have Geo as a resource to turn you on, but then he's going to turn you on to Connected Vision so we can help find somebody that's going to help you with a business plan and find out resources and help with marketing and help getting certifications and getting business licenses and things like that. It's not just, I don't want our men to think that they can't come to us to get the help that they think a woman might be able to get. No, we got stuff for you too. You know, we got stuff for you. We got stuff for your kids. We got stuff for your whole family. But we need to have conversations so we can find out what that is. You know, and for us, it's what you need, what we identify together that you need, not what somebody else. We're not giving you the same thing everybody else got, because that's not going to fit. It's everybody's different. Everybody needs different things. And again, it's no shade, it's none of that.
Michelle, I think that's so dope, you know, just to hear it coming from one of our queens, you know, because that is a very, very scary narrative amongst our kings in our community, is that we can't go get the same help that a woman got. Oh, yeah, that's she a woman. That's why. No. And I said it last week, and I'm going to stress it again today. Please, when you get off here, go on Making a Change Group website. Check us out. See what we're doing. Like that, it's important, because like Michelle said, this isn't no one-stop shop. We're not just meeting at Toby Forums and having these conversations. We have whole programs that are set up for both our men and our women, our kings and our queens. If you are a young man out there struggling, one of the kings in our community struggling, please come say something. Like Michelle said, we have staff, we have men here that are willing to help you. And that is a very scary narrative that I'm so happy that you address, that just because you're a man doesn't mean that you can't get the same help.
Right. And I think another thing too, that when we start thinking about how our community thinks about getting help, it's like, right, one, they not gonna help me because they don't have nothing for men. That's not true. And then that as soon as you walk in the door, that if you don't see a guy right away, that the people in the office not going to understand what's going on. That's not true. And then it's going to turn around tomorrow. That's not true. When, as adults or as people, period, one of our biggest success stories is a man who had layers of challenges. And we were able to help and support him through that over time. You know, you still are a person with free will. You still get a chance to speak into what your goals are and the things that you think you need. But it's not going to happen. everything isn't gonna always come from a man. We have, I think for our organization, we have more men working with the people that we hang with and who we support than a lot of organizations. But sometimes you might have to get on the phone with me. You might have to get on the phone with, another young lady in the office or somebody else that's in the community, because we in the community too. But it takes a village.
Yep.
But the ultimate goal is to build you as a man or a woman that's standing on your own, with healthy relationships, healthy support systems, so you can then support your family and make a difference in the community.
That's that holistic approach. I know we talk about that in the office and, bringing it out into the world. That's what we do here. It's a holistic approach. You can come in. I can be a young man coming in from one thing, feel safe here, and realize my mom needs help. Mom, let me bring you. Before you know, it's a holistic approach. That's why the information, you reviewing the information, you hearing and responding to is so important. If you're out there and you're listening, we definitely have a holistic approach, and we realize that we gotta glue every family together. So yeah, men need help too. Men need help, and just to throw a little feedback out there of my experience. I remember when my wife had left to take care of her father, and I had to take care of some responsibilities at the home. How I didn't know what my wife did. So I had to call my wife, babe, how'd you do this? How'd you do that? And I kind of felt foolish because I thought I should have known these things. But then my lens was changed. Now I'm looking at life a little bit different. I'm like, wow, she really does a lot of work. And vice versa. She's able to now communicate with me. And I'm learning this now. I'm married going on 17 years. And I wish I would have had some of this information earlier. I would have humbled myself earlier and put my ego to the side, because I think I would have had an easier beginning. But it was all learning process. But that's everything. Listen to what I'm saying. The ego plays a big part in a lot of us. Leave it alone and come and share. And this be part of this holistic approach. Realize that you could get help from this person and that person. Realize that asking for help is the strongest thing you can do for a lot of us. It's not a form of weakness at all.
Understanding too that if you're a man in this community, you got a mama that cares about you and loves you and understands you, and you're not foreign to the women around you. That's all. I'm just saying,
Absolutely.
It takes everybody. So I'm not a man, but I got a brother.
I mean, I like to keep stuff simple. Like, beyond any of that, woman or man, we have what you need. Any help that you require out here, we have it. And if we don't have it, we have the people that have it, because we're a network. Like, that's the most important thing. Now, I mean, it don't matter where you're going to get it from. We have whatever it is you require, whatever help you require, whether it be mental, whether it be physical, whether it be emotional, whether it be spiritual, whether it be educational. Like, we have what you need. All you have to do is come out and get it.
And just I shared with the high school kids yesterday at the Boys and Girls Club. Now, nobody can no longer watch this show, hear what we're saying, know what's coming up, knowing that this is out here now, knowing that we have all this help, and walk away and say, I don't know. You are now empowered. You now have the power. You are now equipped with that choice. You can now look. No, you can. If you've seen this, you can no longer look anybody else, whether man or woman, in your community in the eyes and say, "I don't know how to get it. I don't know what I could do." This is a safe zone. We don't care if you man, woman, child. This is a place that you could come talk to anybody. I wholeheartedly can say this, that anybody on our team will help. We are ready. We want to. We are eager. We love what we do. Please, you can no longer look at this show and walk away from here and say that you don't know. You now are equipped with that choice. So please use it.
Yeah, that's true. That's facts. Well, I'm going to let everybody wrap up. Does anybody have anything final that you want to say? Any closing remarks? We'll finish out with Gio. And just from Making a Change Group, everybody we love our community. We're committed and the events that we have coming up and the other community events that's coming on, just know we're here, we're ready, and we got something to say. The reason why we're putting this stuff together is because we got something to say. We got an opinion. We have a vision of how we think our community needs to and deserves to be. So, just be prepared to get in line and be on the same page with like-minded people who just love this community. We love our community. We live here. These are where our families are. Our homes are here.
Speaking of our other
Josh,
events,
Richard, you guys got anything you want to wrap up, and then we'll just have Gio take us out.
Speaking about our other events, it's important. I know, we're promoting G's Mentoring G's and Queens Mentoring Queens, and we've been talking about that. But please come out to all the other programs. Bring your son, bring your daughters out to tennis. Bring them to the summer programs. Bring them to all our events that we're having, because they're all connected. The same things that's happening at G's Mentoring G's and Queen Mentoring Queens are happening at our other events. It's just that we're all together now. So please don't just, look at G's Mentoring G's and Queens Mentoring Queens. Please go on the website. Go on Making a Change Group. .com. Look up these events. Come out to those events too, because they're just as important as Queens Mentoring Queens and G's Mentoring G's. This is the aftermath. This is the consistency. This is us getting together as a community as a whole and bringing our young men and our young women and our families together to play tennis, to eat at Vittles, to do these different projects that we have and events that we're planning. So please check out all our events and come out to all of them.
I would love to give a big shout out to all the panelists for G's Mentoring G's and Queens Mentoring Queens. I was able to get a sneak peek in there. I snuck in there and was able to see what they did. It was awesome. But I want to give a big shout out for your time, your heart, the truth that you put out there, the knowledge you put out there, and most importantly, the biggest shout out goes to all the young men and women who participated, who were brave, who spoke, who were there present. And even if you didn't say anything, the fact that you were present and you were aware and listening, I want to give a big shout out to you. And I wanted to put this out there. I hope to see you again. I would love to hear your voice, your comments, your concerns, questions. I was amazing. Thank you for being part of that.
For me, I work with the Gvon program, and we deal with gun violence. So coming from me, my word would be involvement. Involvement. Get involved, because specifically what I'm doing and what the brothers that's working with me are doing is we're trying to save your son's life. Your involvement is critical in this. We're out here trying to save your son's lives, your daughter's lives, innocent people's lives that get caught in the middle. That's what we're doing and working with specifically. So for me and Skip and Amino and all us, Josh, that's in the Gvon program, we need involvement. We need you to care about your son as much as we care about your son. We need you to want to save your son's life as much as we're trying to save your son's life. We can't be trying to save your son's life more than you are. For this to work, it gotta be hand in hand. Y'all have to help. Y'all have to be involved. Y'all have to want to save y'all son's lives. So involvement is the word I'm gonna leave y'all with. Become involved.
All right, thank you guys so much for sharing, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right.